Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Davos is happening right now in Switzerland, and I got some great clips from Davos. Brad Garlinghouse talking to us a little bit about what he thinks is going to happen with the case, the use of XRP, and a bunch of other stuff. I also got a clip from Jamie Dimon talking about crypto like pet rocks too, and some updates for you. So this video is going to be good. Stick around to the end. You are going to enjoy all of it. So let's go ahead and jump in with this clip.
We're now processing billions of dollars of transactions every quarter, and well over half of our total transaction volume, because we do have a fiat and XRP enabled product called on-demand liquidity. Over half of all of our transactions go through XRP now. That
half of Ripple's transactions are using XRP now, guys. Half of them. A lot of you probably sit there and think, oh, people can use the Ripple technology, but they won't use XRP. If you want instant settlement, you're going to use XRP, and these banks are definitely going to use that because it's so cheap to move the value, and then they can use that capital instantly, and then if they need to send it somewhere else, they can do that instead of having to wait a few days for that money to clear.
That has grown, and we did have some exposure to FTX. I think we publicly shared before there's around just over $10 million of XRP we had leased to FTX that they used for various things on FTX. You know, what we get back from that, I have no idea. Alleged fraud. I will see how the bankruptcy stuff plays out. And as I said, regardless of that, again, some of the companies were way overexposed and I think found themselves in a very stressful situation because they had too much exposure, too much debt, too many of those types of things. And for us, that, I think, represented about 1% of liquid assets. I would rather not lose that money, and I'm hopeful that through the bankruptcy process, we get some or all of it back, but it's not too consequential to the business. We publicly, when the layoffs in crypto started, we publicly announced we're still hiring. I think in Q2 last year, we hired 100 people. In Q3, we hired 100 people. Q4 is a little less than that, partly because of the holidays. We have no plans to do any layoffs. We're going to continue to grow and hire. And again, that's just, we sign more customers. We need more people to support those customers. We're obviously building new products that we are excited about. And even conversations I've had here in Davos, we have existing customers coming to us wanting help with other elements of the kind of crypto ecosystem.
How are you expecting to be resolved? Are you expecting to reach a settlement with the SEC or just let the judge decide on this one?
As I mentioned,
so previously, guys, I said that you're not going to see a settlement. This is probably going to go down to the judge, and Brad is actually going to tell you the exact same thing that I thought and have been thinking for the past several months.
Sure, we're now 2 years and 2 months in, or 2 years and 1 month into the lawsuit. He filed suit against us saying that our sales of XRP represented sales of unregistered securities. And from the beginning, I thought it was very clear that the facts were on our side and the law was on our side. And I think as you have seen this play out and you've seen the filings in the court, that judge certainly is hearing there's been, I think the SEC's behavior and some of it has been, I don't know, say embarrassing as a U.S. citizen. There's just some of the things you've seen happen. You're like, you got to be kidding. But look, it's now fully filed and fully briefed in front of the judge and the second district. And we expect a decision from the judge, certainly in 2020. But you don't really have any control over when a judge makes their decisions. And I'm optimistic that sometime in the coming single digit number of months, we'll have closure there. To your question about settlement, the problem here is the SEC, in particular Gary Gensler, has articulated a view that all crypto is a security. The only way that Ripple would settle, and I've said this at the very beginning, the only way we would settle is if there's clarity that XRP is not a security on a go-forward basis.
Guys, remember, every other place on Earth, XRP is a digital asset. Every other country, they consider it a digital asset. FinCEN, right? The SEC before Jay Clayton and Gary Gensler, all didn't have problems with XRP, called it a digital. We really need to get to the bottom of the ETH gate and what Joseph Lubin and all those guys were doing behind the scenes. They have friends at the SEC, and I think that stuff really should be investigated. I think they slowed down Ripple as best they could to try to build something better that banks will use their technology, and they didn't succeed on that.
This conundrum where the SEC is saying all crypto is a security, we're saying there's only a settlement if we can say XRP is not a security on a go-forward basis. So the Venn diagram for settlement is, I think, zero. So I think we're going to end up letting the judge decide, and I'm very optimistic. And I think people here in this audience know and here at Davos know, this case is very important to crypto, not just for Ripple. It's for the whole industry. And I think the fight that we've been fighting really in some ways has been for the whole.
And in terms of the SEC specifically, you've been critical of the way the US has approached regulation towards the industry. What exactly are you concerned about, and why are you critical of the way the US has?
Two things. One, something called regulation through enforcement is never a particularly efficient way to regulate, right? If you want to regulate, do the work, write the rules, codify the rules. And when a company comes to you and says, hey, help me understand the rules, I want to make sure we're following the rules, help them understand the rules. I met personally with the SEC 3 times. Not once in those meetings did the SEC ever say to me, hey, and by the way, we're totally transparent about what we're doing. Not once did the SEC say, hey, we think XRP might be a security. So then for the later on to go back and say, hey, the whole time we thought XRP was a security, we just didn't tell you. That doesn't feel like a genuine partnership between public sector and private sector. Moreover, and some of this stuff I'll be more vague about because some of this stuff, it hasn't been public yet. But there's something called the Hinman email. Bill Hinman, the director of corporate finance at the SEC, gave a speech in June 2018 about how ETH had been a security, but had magically become not a security. And there's some emails associated with that the judge ordered turned over 6 times. We finally did get those emails. And I think when those come to light, I think you will see more like, how is it possible the SEC decided to bring a case against Ripple, given what they were saying within their own walls?
Yeah. And
given what they were saying within their own walls, guys, I do think Ripple wins on this case. SEC does not want those documents public, and they'll do anything they can, even calling XRP not a security so those emails won't leak, right? If you go to trial, all of this stuff becomes public. They can put the witness on stands. They can question them about the emails and question about all that stuff, and we would find out everything. Think about, people would really know how shady the SEC was in dealing with this case. What would that do to the SEC's credibility in the future? So there's a lot of other things at play here than just the Ripple case, right? It's really all of crypto, but it's really the SEC being able to be a dominant force and bring action. If they've proven that they did something very shady behind the scenes, that can go and echo through the rest of all the other cases. Did they do anything shady with this case or anything with this case? So it does open up the door to a lot of really interesting ways this thing can go. But let's finish this clip and we'll continue on the chat.
Then if you look at the global regulatory landscape, where do you think is sort of on the right track? In the European Union, you've got this MiCA regulation coming in with specifically...
MiCA just got pushed back to April. They're going to start rolling it out.
Targets things like stable coins and
that was just announced
exchanges.
yesterday.
Is that a good first step? Where do you see good regulation or good talk about regulation happening?
So I think MiCA is a good first step. And I also, maybe not dodging your question, I'll get there. But one of the things that I have been struck by is how much the U.S. regulatory discussion has dominated some of the meetings I've been in here in Davos. And it loses sight of the fact that globally, the direction of travel on crypto regulation is actually quite positive. You have more and more countries doing the work to codify and be clear. And these aren't small countries. This includes the UK and Japan, certainly here in Switzerland or the UAE. You're even seeing countries like South Africa start to do that work. And again, instead of regulation through enforcement, it's actually, hey, let's take the time, let's partner with private sector to write down and be clear about those rules. So leaving the US aside, I think it's actually quite positive. And yes, the US is the largest economy in the world, but there's a big economy out there. And again, Ripple has thrived over the last 2 years, and we basically haven't been able to sell into the United States market.
Guys, that's a great clip. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned some stuff from it. Here's another clip with Brad. You know what? Actually, I'm going to play the Jamie Dimon clip, and I'll just create another video because it's already 9 minutes. But check here. Listen to Jamie Dimon talk about crypto at Davos.
What we're talking about. We pretty much always have some crypto conversation with you. I'm just curious because I don't think we've talked to you since...
I think all that's been a waste of time, and why you guys waste any breath on it is totally beyond me.
Because you just think the whole thing just is...
Remember, guys, Jamie Dimon was talking shit about crypto and Bitcoin all while having his team buy Bitcoin off the market, right? And other crypto. So just understand that JP Morgan has their own coin, JPM coin, right? JP Morgan has been investing tons of money into infrastructure for crypto. All right. Don't let this guy fool you, right? The banks don't want cryptocurrency because they want their 3%, 6%, 20% when you do remittances, right? They like to keep that money. That's billions and billions of dollars. Crypto is here to disrupt that market, right? If you can transfer money from person to person for even 1% or 0.5%, that would save you so much money, and that can make a huge impact on your life. And now you have Jamie Dimon here on CNBC telling you crypto is just for pet rocks. Crazy.
Zero? Going to zero and it's fake?
Bitcoin
It's
itself
fake,
is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rocket.
You're back to that?
Yeah,
Really?
of course.
You're back to that.
So what do you make then of BlackRock and other firms that are investing in infrastructure?
No, that's different.
Okay, BNY Mellon, BlackRock, Fidelity, all in crypto, right? Trillions under management. They understand how important it is. I talked about this in my last couple chats with my community. Guys, this guy is just straight lying to everybody right now because they want to be able to buy these assets at the cheapest price. They don't want you getting rich off of crypto. That's their main goal, is to keep you and me in this debt-based system where they can collect our 20% on our credit card fees and whatever else we have to pay, overdrafts and all of that crap. That's what he's scared of.
Chain is a technology ledger system that we use to move information. We've used it to do overnight repo, intraday repo. We've used it to move money. Right. So that is
if he's going to be using it to move money on a DLT solution, what is that, guys? That's crypto, right?
Ledger. That's a technology ledger type of thing that we think will be deployable. But remember, we've been talking about that for 12 years too, and very little's been done.
There's some tokens that I agree with you, but Bitcoin's based on a distributed ledger. But it has all the characteristics of a store. Immutable, it's scarce.
Totally untrue.
21 million.
Yeah, really. How do you know it's going to stop at 21 million?
Because
I've mentioned this to people.
Satoshi.
Everyone says that. Maybe it's going to get to 21 million, and Satoshi's picture is going to come up and laugh at you all. Say, nah.
There isn't a picture.
And by then, Satoshi will have taken out billions of dollars.
What was your reaction to the failure of FTX and all of that? You've seen lots of failures over the years of different things that have happened on Wall Street and the world of finance.
I'm not surprised at all.
And
I called it a decentralized Ponzi scheme. The hype around this thing has been extraordinary.
The underlying asset.
But you have a lot of clients who are involved.
You guys you've all seen the analysis on Tether and the analysis on all these things and the lack of disclosures, and it's outrageous. The regulators should have stopped this a long time ago. People have lost billions of dollars. Some are, if you look at
this gentleman, okay, Jamie Dimon, in the last 6 years alone, JP Morgan Chase has had to pay billions and billions of dollars in fines for doing illegal activity inside of the bank. He's trying to push people one way when he's trying to go the other way. It's all these rich billionaires do, guys. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to stay exactly where you are in your 9-to-5 job, making minimum wage, or even if you're making $100,000 in California, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, right? This guy wants to keep you there. Just remember that. Whatever they say, don't listen to what they tell you. Watch what they're doing. Always watch politics, business people. They're always going to say, we're going to go do this, but in the behind the scenes, they're doing that. Just remember that, guys.
it is lower income people. It's in some cases,
Jamie, there's a
retirees,
difference between
grandmothers.
saying FTX is a decentralized Ponzi scheme and saying that crypto itself is a Ponzi scheme. That's Madoff created options.
Crypto
Options
itself, it
weren't-
doesn't do anything.
Is a pet rock. You're happy to
Bitcoin.
Yeah, you can own it all you want.
I'm just talking.
guy.
I mean, there's a lot. It's billions of
Guys,
dollars.
I don't care about Bitcoin, so we should.
All right, guys. Go JP Morgan. Wait, Chase and crypto. Let's see what comes up, right? JP Morgan Chase crypto wallet trademark is approved, right? They're doing the work behind the scenes about building crypto wallets and all this stuff, all while telling you it's a scam. If it's a scam, why build the wallets? All right, guys, listen, I'm going to make another video right after this one because this is already 15 minutes long and I'm in the mood right now. I just want to get some more stuff out, but don't let any of these billionaires shake you off what you have. It's going to take a while to get to the next bull run, guys. You are going to have some time here, but understand you're only going to get one shot at life at this, right? Once this everything happens, right? And mass adoption, the G20 comes out of regulation, mass adoption happens, you're going to be too late. Once your banks start offering you crypto, guys, you've already lost. You need to be able to get in, understand the technology, speak to a financial advisor if you need to that understands crypto, and make your best decisions. None of this is financial advice, guys. It's just me spreading my opinions and my information for you. Have a wonderful day. Hope you learned something. Peace.